the advent that defending.
I think it's like.
People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Please hit the like button. As I said, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. As you know by the title of this video, Arsenal young players loan report. I almost had to start that again, but you know, that adds an element of realness to this. Now, I apologize, people. I've been doing you lot dirty as the workload's been getting crazy again. I like to do this to the best of my ability. I like to, whether it's highlights, 90 minutes, just talking points in general, I like to kind of know where these players are concerned and what's concerning them. I like to watch the progress of more so the young players out on loan, because it shows people, or it shows me what I know, in that a career is never like that. Certain people are going to start slowly and then excel. People are going to struggle. You know, there's all different loans they're going to go on, and all these things. There's many, you know, you might play, you're accustomed to possession-based football at Arsenal. You're going and playing for a direct team that plays 4-4-2. You might not necessarily excel, and that might not be the best loan for you, but just generally that gives you a good education. So it is what it is where that's concerned. Obviously, I try not to pay, not that I don't pay attention, but we all know the Guendouzi's, Torreiras, Bellerins, these guys, they're on loan, but they're basically gone. As I said, man, I can't follow everyone religiously, and I've actually lost some of my notes, but let's actually look now. With Bellerin, seems like he, should I zoom in a bit for you lot? It's been a long time since the Google Sheets come out, but yeah, man. For Bellerin, from at the time of making this vid, 26 appearances for Betis. He's made 18 in the league. You know, it seems like there's decent competition for fullbacks there. He started the last 4 games, played all right against Barcelona a few months ago. As you can see in my notes, hopefully they purchase him, as again, he's contracted until 2023. Just like Lucas Torreira, who seems, again, he's having a great loan spell at Fiorentina. It seems like they will buy him. You know, they were happy to take him and some money for Vlahovic. So hopefully he's played his way into permanent plans. And again, contracted until 2023. Hopefully we can make some money. Reece Nelson, I still believe in Reece Nelson, but at the end of the day, he's 23 in December. It's probably best he goes somewhere where he stays permanently and is able to play. He's had a, you know, he probably needs some confidence. He struggled with a couple of knocks, you know, but 13 appearances in the league. In the league and a couple in the Europa. He only has 1 assist to his name. He's still yet to complete 90 minutes. The closest he got was that's meant to say versus was in the Europa League, where he got his assist against Maccabi Haifa, and he played 86 minutes against Hertha Wien. And I'm sure you've all seen the comments kind of where the coach is alluding to he expects a bit more. Again, at some point it will click, but I did it, you know, at 23, we kind of need to see a bit more progress for me anyway, specifically decision making, not so much the numbers. But if we was to look at on a harsh thing, many people say, well, boy, he's gone to the Eredivisie, he ain't really done much. It is what it is. And, you know, again, contracted until 2023. You felt that, not that it's the last chance saloon, and I hope it's not because he's hailing and that. But kind of needed to show up, and it's like many fans wouldn't even know Reece Nelson's not involved. You know, on one hand, out of sight, out of mind, but you know, you've got Oplebe playing well. Arsenal fans always ready to waffle about Guendouzi, who's doing quite well at Marseille, I think he's made 30 odd appearances and they will buy him, or Mavropanos here and there, or it's a bit different. But Aubameyang's left us permanently. No one's really uttered a word on Reece Nelson, even when Pepe started playing at first team level again, if we could say that. You know, there's been next to nothing. I mean, complete bias. I don't want to give up on Reece Nelson. I want him to get some opportunities here, but you know, probably best, if I look at it without emotion, maybe go somewhere where it's not when you are at this club, you're not really going to get a look in. You'll be on the bench, you get a cup game and that. Go somewhere where you can settle down roots, man, because I do think you, Joe Willock, Eddie Nketiah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you're all kind of playing catch up because of not really going out there and seizing it. You know, D's gone out on loan, people, and he's only made 3 appearances. So actually, when I done my last vid, there's been nothing. He's had to hold the bench from what I can see, you know, really. So trials and tribulations. Mavropanos is probably gone. He's made 45 appearances. He's got 5 goals. He's been involved in 5 goals and assists. I don't think that's right. I think, you know, again, as I said, my notes are all over the place. But away from that, you know, he looks a more all-rounded player. I still think he could be a decent player. I think it's probably best Arsenal sell him. I don't think he'll quite make the grade at this moment in time. But yeah, man, you know, Stuttgart are fighting relegation, people. They're 4 points off the drop, 5 clear of the bottom league. They've got the 4th worst defense in the league. Now, obviously, your first line of defense is your striker, but they're learning, man. You know, Mavropanos is doing all right, looking a bit more confident and growing in stature, but The only thing I would say with him and Guendouzi, we probably agreed to permanent deals too fast. We get a 10% sell-on clause, you know, and we only paid $1 million or so for him. We've probably got a loan fee from Stuttgart, so it's probably to go with when he went on loan last year or whenever. So it is what it is. I feel sorry for Carl Hein because his face is being out for 4 to 8 weeks, just when he was starting to break into the Reading team. And you know, you hear some Reading fans, they were rating him. He's got a calmness about him. He made some vital saves. Yeah, and Reading are fighting. You know, Reading have got Paul Ince. Boy, that's a gift and a curse in itself. But they're not having the best of seasons. And you know, he was out there. Unfortunately, our 19-year-old is injured now, and it was, I think, after a Concu. Sorry, people, my notes dropped. Needs to go out there. Needed to go on loan. As you can see by the notes, he's doing okay. Showing his age in a couple of actions, but he's doing okay in what is a terrible time for Reading. Probably his season is done now. And as I said, just when he was looking to look assured in the net, and in the games, and he was starting to come into his own, this is the day in life of being a footballer. Now, Daniel Ballard, he's probably a candidate for lone player of the season. He's had a tough time with injuries. You know, against Sheffield United, he made his first appearance since November, 64 minutes. And he's someone, I look at him, Matt Smith, you're probably playing to put yourself in the shop window. And whatnot. Now, this is an old picture, but Muller went out on loan to FC Den Bosch, and he's not scored yet, people. He's made 3 appearances for them. Across his 2 loan spells, you know, at this season, he's got 3 goals to his name. You look at Osei Tutu, who's had a shit time with injuries, pardon my French. You know, he's working his way back from injuries as reflected in a couple of these games that he's played. He got 90 against Shrewsbury Town, 58 against Morecambe, half an hour against Wigan. And as you can see, I really should have prettied these things up, people. And against Sheffield United, he got 11 minutes. So yeah, he's over there in League One. Well, this is a Nottingham Forest picture, but he's out there in it. He's doing all right. Harry Clark, you know, he's putting himself in the shop window. He seems to be going from strength to strength over there at Ross County. He did okay against Dundee. He started slowly, but he needed to grow into it, as my note said. I think the Celtic game was a tough result for them, 2-1 defeat to take because they showed heart. And he's predominantly been playing fullback, but he's doing his thing. Matt Smith, you know, again, he's played, and I'd say in the last couple of games I've looked, you know, the work rate's been there, but he's been a bit quiet, but he seems like a never present in his side. And another one that needs to go and get in the shop window. And, you know, in recent weeks, his pressing in particular, sometimes I've looked, he gets about, but his mobility looks a bit awkward. He looks a bit better. He's made 39 appearances in total, and he's played in a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, 4-3-3. So as a midfielder, that's helping your education. Tyrese John-Jules, obviously, it didn't really work out at his last loan. He's gone out to Sheffield Wednesday on loan. He's played 18 minutes against Ipswich, but fortunately at this moment in time, he's injured. And as I said, trials and tribulations of a young player. I still believe in this guy's quality. All he needs to do is stay fit, man. That's it. And the thing is, you know, well, let's just say his injuries aren't all that seen in it. But if the man stays fit, the quality is there. I think he's going to have a decent future in the game, as I do feel with all of them. Now, unfortunately, speaking of Ryan, this 20-year-old was denied the chance of going Sunderland on loan in the summer. I think it broke down on Sunderland's part. He's unfortunately injured. I'm not sure on the time scale, people, but, you know, at 20 years of age, he's gone to League One, made 4 appearances, done quite well, took to it like a duck out of water. You know, and he joined it really and truly. This is what it's about, man. Under 23s, man, because he's joined the team. Crew cannot stop leaking goals. 13 goals have been conceded in their last 4 games, and they're fighting to turn their season around. You don't always get that at 23s level. It's one fullback to another. Brooke Norton-Cuffy. I'm so proud of this guy because, you know, I could waffle about his technical abilities, which first things first, he's got an engine as a fullback. He's comfortable taking people on. He's very much the modern day fullback. The thing I like the most is his mentality. You know, it did kind of shock me going out on loan. I think he kind of went earlier than a lot of people expected, but he's taken to it like a duck out of water. You are seeing youthful naivety. Sometimes he gives away a lot of space. I think I've got the notes. There was a game I think he could have stopped the cross. Things you would expect. The man's 18 and he's got 8 Lincoln appearances. He's still learning, but I think he can be proud of himself, man. He really is doing well. And as I said, there's no substitutes for real football. He's jumped in straight at the deep end, you know. He's got elite mentality, and this is the sort of thing. And again, I'm not here to say guys are going to be the next this, that, and the other, but I genuinely feel he has half a chance of making at this football club, man. I really like his ability. He was on the bench against Morecambe. Against Wickham, I think he showed his age at times, but he was very good. He tackled well. He won his duels. You know, he almost scored a serious solo effort in the first half. And I just feel generally, as the game went on, he was getting stronger and stronger. As I said, against Gillingham, like you see here, man, it felt at times like I'm watching a black Kieran Tierney on the right-hand side because he's cooking meals and nobody wants to eat, really and truly. He should have had at least 3 assists in that game, putting some devilish crosses. Like I said, very good going forward and whatnot, and improving defensively. I did think him and a number of people could have probably done better for one of the goals. I can't remember if it's the first or second, but one of the 2 goals with Gillingham. As you can see here, I think he's taken to the challenge well. He's learning and failing fast. This is better than 23s. And what I mean by that is, at 23s, sometimes you can make a mistake and you're not punished. 9 times out of 10, you do it in the senior game, you're punished, so you immediately learn. That's why I'm proud of all of these boys. I don't think 23s football prepares people. You know, this sort of thing does. So yeah, at the time of writing, 8 appearances in League One. You know, he's completed 90 minutes twice. Lincoln have lost like 3 of their last 4, which again highlights the realities of football. They're in a serious relegation battle, and you know, their fans just want to know, are you a defender that's able to help us? And again, man, are keeping clean sheets. Every training session means something. I'm not saying it doesn't at Arsenal, but when you're in this bubble where losing, you know, football, it comes down to winning and losing. If Lincoln go down, certain people might lose their contracts and people lose jobs. This is the reality. At the time of writing, 8 appearances, 2 assists. You go over there at Bellerin, people. Bellerin, you know, he's still learning. Again, one thing I hate with him and Tyrese John Jules and all young strikers, people are so quick to call them overrated. Do you know how hard it is to be a Premier League striker? I'm not saying anyone's going to make it, but they need to learn and be out their comfort zone. This is why I don't get gassed when man are doing things at 23's level. I think Bellerin is doing just as I expect. He's putting himself about. He's not standing out per se, still chasing that first goal for Middlesbrough, but he's doing all right. I expect him to look out of his depth against Manchester United, which I believe he had some good moments, but generally he did. He's playing a Premier League team. I think they kind of looked better when he got subbed off. He did put himself about, create a half chance for himself. Playing with his back to goal didn't really come off for him. These are things he has to learn. If I can remember rightly, against Derby, he got a lovely assist. He grew into the game, and we all saw how he ripped Romero, and you know, he absolutely destroyed Romero the other day, coming off the bench, getting 45 minutes, I believe, in the FA Cup against Spurs. The ball wasn't sticking with him, and he was snatching at a couple of half chances. But again, these are things I expect for a guy learning to play up front. So still chasing that goal. Chris Wilder's doing quite good with him. Still learning, you know, only completed 90 minutes twice. So the manager's, he's got confidence in you, but still trying to get that full confidence. And as I said, this man's only got 18 senior games to his name, including Arsenal. So he's still learning, really. But as again, I prefer this and save the best till last, as much as you could say that. Saliba, now, I think Saliba at times has showed, well, I think Saliba's doing okay. I think he's going to return a much better footballer at Arsenal. I think he's going to return, not all the way there yet. He still does a lot of dumb stuff, but this is where they're at. You know, Gabriel is great, but that was a horrible mistake to make against Wolves. Ben White's conceded a dumb pen. Saliba's at the age to do things like that. I like the fact that he's getting game time and he's going to come back, by God's grace, a better player. He's played on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, in a back three. He's even had a couple of occasions at right back, which, boy, against Nice, it didn't work out. You know, against Lyon, he had a good game, then got ripped by Dembele. You know, there's been some good moments, some fantastic blocks against Lens. You know, Mbappe slide tackle, that's the standout. I think he's going to return a more experienced and more convinced guy, but he's not all the way there yet. And this is the thing with all of these players. Fans just draw too many conclusions. You know, I would say generally, I don't think Marseille defend well enough. I'll be real with you. I don't think they defend well enough as a team. I feel they play quite emotional football. They're entertaining to watch. Like sometimes, you know, they've conceded and like Saliba will be switched off. Like the whole back five will be switched off. All the midfielders will be switched off. Like people are not tracking runners and a lot of things, people. As much as saying that, they've also shown good moments as well, people. As you can see here, people, against Lyon, I think he played a couple of dodgy passes. He got skinned by Dembele, but he largely had a good game, you know. And he's playing and doing his thing. I can't remember what this was in relation to. I don't think that's the case, but I think that's a separate note I was making. But yeah, it's what it is. And Saliba shows his passing range. I do think Arteta he likes to pass to the right back a lot. I think, considering Ben White's comments why he doesn't pass that much to Tomiyasu, Arteta will cut that out. And I just think it's the natural things that just need to improve in Saliba's game. Switching on a bit, body positioning, when to play, when not to play, you know, communicating, when to vacate vacate space, things you'd expect at our age. So it's nothing too bad, really. Against Lens, I think he had a very good game, very important blocks to prevent Lens from scoring, a mature performance. He made a lovely double tackle to deny Fofana. I think his passing against Angers was a bit off. He weren't bad, but I feel his passing was creating a lot of counter-attacks. I think this is some general notes. Marseille are a team filled with defensive bad habits despite their improved statistics. Whole team emotional football, consistently inconsistent, quality to watch as a neutral, I think, but a lot more stability when he returns. I believe that said. Again, I don't think I've got my Nice notes, but he had a terrible time against Nice over there right back in recent weeks. It happens, innit? Again, Lyon concedes some very silly goals for they've got a number of young players and experience, but a number of young players. Their team shape is a bit abysmal. Against it's not Tours, is it? I can't remember. Troyes, I can't remember. It's pronounced as a French way. He was second best a lot. I think he was slow to a lot of things, even though I don't feel that shouldn't even say 45 minutes. But I'm talking by his own standards for a large period of the game. In fact, for really the whole game, I don't think he had much to do. But I think for me, he missed a very important header in what led to the goal being conceded. Generally, he didn't have much to do. I just didn't think he had that quality he normally does. There was a moment in the 53rd minute, he dives in, he misses the ball completely, and it presents a half chance. And these things show his youth. As I said, against Nice, he had a terrible time. He was shifted out to fullback, really. Against Metz, he, tried to carry the ball out from the back. I don't know what the versus thing is there. He was in a back three. Assist for winning the header from a corner. For their striker people to score as well. Important block in the 29th minute to concede a corner, first bit of defending. So yeah, again, it's about sometimes some defenders are only good when they can consistently work. At Arsenal, a lot of the time you're gonna be defending playing against a low block, attacking a low block, and our defenders have to remain focused, and it's things like that. Against Clermont, I think the first goal, the whole team, including him, was unaware of runners. He needed help by his centre mids, but he didn't look over his shoulder. I think he was good on the ball as usual. Just a side note, Kolasinac spent his minutes out of position. 69th minute, he was the last man. He attempted one back pass and it kind of scooped, and his pace got him out of that. If you're playing against certain hitters in the Premier League, then it might be a heart-in-mouth moment. He did nearly get caught out. I think his and everyone's marking for that second goal was quite terrible as well. So, again, man, these are what I expect these young players to do. But it's nice to see their development, really and truly. Like, again, some people that are having good times now, they'll go for adversity. People going for adversity right now, it will get better, and there's different trials and tribulations. Either way, I admire mainly these young players, because it's better than playing 23s where you get a false sense of importance. Like for Bellerin, I think he should have went out on loan, but we all know he had bits and pieces and things going on with his contract. But yeah, that's that, man. That's all I've got to say on that, people. Like I said, I'll be back to doing these more frequently, but for now, this is all the thoughts I have. Please hit the like button. Appreciative to everybody who's tuned in.
There's always that active defending.
I think it's like